Hello dear ones, and welcome to today's reading. It is for the next 7 days, so we will be checking the cards to see what to expect in the next few days. Before we get started, I would like to apologize for missing last week's post date. I usually post on Friday. I don't know if you have noticed that, but I did mention it a while ago, and I was just so glad that I've been sticking to posting on Fridays or posting once a week for a while. And I don't know, a week later or 2 weeks later, my routines changed and I missed that date. So maybe I shouldn't have been so glad about it. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to apologize, and I really hope to stick to the schedule from now on. But yeah, like I said, when my routines change, everything tends to go just haywire. So that is what happened. But now I'm back here with a new reading, like I said, for the next 7 days. I felt called to use rose quartz today. So we have 3 piles. Pile number 1 is with, this is like a palmstone. So yeah, made out of rose quartz. And here we have, for pile 2, unpolished rose quartz. And then pile 3 is with polished rose quartz. So 3 piles to choose from. Take your time in seeing which one you feel most drawn to. And when you listen to the reading, just take in what resonates with you and leave out the rest, as this is a general reading. So it's entirely possible that not everything is meant for you. There might be small messages hidden there for you, or the entire reading may be meant for you. You just have to see what you feel in your heart and in your gut. Okay? So now I will let you have a few moments alone with these piles if you need more time to select your pile. So, see you in the reading very soon. Hello there. So you chose the Palmstone. I pulled some cards for you already, so let's see what they tell us. So this reading is for the next 7 days, and you know what to prepare for, as well as some advice for the coming days. Anyway, the first 2 cards that I pulled, we have an oracle card and a tarot card. So we have the mystic here and 10 of wands. So you will definitely, and I don't know if I forgot to say, but yeah, you will, or the cards are for the role that you will play in the coming days. Okay. So yeah, you will definitely play the role of a mystic. So you might have stuff like mystical stuff like synchronicities and being able to tell the future happen to you. So things that you can't explain with your logical mind. I feel like you might be turning inwards a bit, and you will connect with your inner self, like your higher being, or with your spirit. At the same time, I feel like you will feel burdened by something. Based on the flowers here, I would say that it's actually something that brings you great joy, but at the same time, this thing comes with a huge responsibility, and that just makes you feel kind of tired, alone, and stressed out. So I definitely feel like you will need a break over the coming week. I feel like this card is kind of like imagine a mother who really loves her kids, but she just needs to get away for a while for her own sanity. So that sort of thing. But yeah, obviously the situation may vary. Maybe some of you are like mothers who need a break from their kids, but like for others it can be something entirely different, okay? So next I pulled 4 cards to see what will happen over the next 7 days, so what to expect. And we have very interesting cards for sure. We have the Tower, it's crazy, 3 of Swords, Knight of Cups, and the World. So yeah, I definitely feel like there will be like roller coaster events or roller coaster emotions happening, or both. So I feel like you will definitely reach a turning point. So the stress that we talked about here, it will become way too much for you. I feel like it won't be a surprise to you. It's something that has been burdening you for a while. Based on the 3 of Swords, I would say that it's possible that it's like, let's say like a huge fight with a loved one that leaves both of you hurt. And yeah, like I said, based on this 10 of Wands here, I feel like it's something that you already know when I mention this, like what that fight will be about. But yeah, of course, for some of you, it could be something different, something that just brings you over the edge and really just hurts you a lot, because that situation becomes unbearable. So yeah, it's not necessarily like love and relationship related, of course. Like maybe it's an existing problem at work, or a problem with your family. But yeah, I definitely feel like it is pre-existing based on this card here. So yeah, it just becomes a bit too much for you, and the next 7 days will be a culmination of that. But like I said, roller coaster emotions, because then I feel like once you have aired out all your emotions and let things kind of like fall apart, even, everything then turns for the best. Like let's say you have a fight with your partner, I feel like it might actually end up deepening your relationship, your bond, and then maybe you will just end up like going out and having a great time, or go on a romantic getaway or something like that. Or if this is something that happened at work, maybe you and your colleagues will be able to solve this problem, a problem of some kind, and it will just be a huge success. With the mystic here, definitely feel like the process might be internal for some of you. So I've been talking about things that are quite external here, but it's entirely possible that these cards may also refer to a spiritual crisis of some point, of some kind, sorry. So you will be dealing with like inside of yourself rather than, having anything happen to you on the outside. But yeah, I definitely feel like it's sort of like a hitting the rock bottom and then just almost straight away climbing back up to the top. So please don't despair if things will go wrong for you next week or in the coming 7 days. Okay. So next, I also pulled a card to see where you will end up as a result of these 7 days. So what will become of this 10 of Wands here? And for you, I pulled the Page of Cups. So that's very it's a lot of like idealistic and fresh energies here. So I definitely feel like whatever has been burdening you here, you will like benefit from these new energies. So whatever happens here, you will be able to solve it, or at least you will be able to find the tools to manage the situation in a better way. So you will, that's what I get from this card. You will begin to solve this situation, because pages are about like beginnings and initiation. But yeah, you'll definitely feel more positive and hopeful about this thing that has been causing you grief earlier. I also pulled 2 advice cards for the situation or for the next 7 days. So let's see what they are. We have an oracle card from the Urban Crow Oracle deck. It's called Commitment. And an oracle, tarot card. So we have Justice. So Commitment and Justice. So as an advice, I would say that honor your commitments and try to remain fair and ethical in your dealings, whether we're talking about a relationship, your connection with yourself, or the situation at your workplace. So definitely treat people with respect and treat yourself with respect, even in an explosive situation like this one here. Okay, like for example, if you have an argument with a loved one, don't resort to name calling or like mean-spirited or abusive behaviors or anything like that. You will definitely get yourself heard in a better way if you aim to stay calm and respectful and focused on your common goals and on fair and ethical behavior, okay? Even in a very stressful situation, okay? So yeah, that's the way to get out of this situation and to get some fresh energies into your life, okay? And lastly, I pulled a card for one final piece of advice for the mystic here. And I pulled an oracle card from the Egyptian gods oracle deck. And the card is Shu, Order, and Peace. And this card is pretty self-explanatory. It's all about discipline, balance, and avoiding impulsive behavior. So you should definitely take that into your heart. Okay. So, well, number one, that was your reading. I definitely hope that you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for my upcoming videos. I will definitely film a June monthly reading and a reading for summer 2023, as well as other readings. Like, I'm thinking of a career reading. I really feel called to film a video like that as well. So, as usual, like and comment if you feel called to do so, and subscribe as well if you haven't done that already. I really appreciate the support. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time. Hello there. You chose pile 2 with Unpolished rose quartz. And here I have some cards picked out for you already. So let's see what they tell us about the next 7 days, okay? So first, I pulled cards to see the role that you will play over the coming days. And I have oracle cards and a tarot card here. So when I picked this oracle card for you, we got the healer, but there was another card as well stuck behind here, and we have the explorer. And we have the Fool from tarot. So I definitely feel like on one hand there's a lot of this internal energy here with you connecting with your own energy, especially with the energy that heals. So that could be yourself or other people. But then like the card was like this, so I feel like underneath all that there's a lot of like intense, passionate energy here. So I feel like you are the bringer of a lot of like fiery, fun, exciting times over the next 7 days. The Fool is kind of like the explorer, so I feel like you will have like double the energy of the Fool here. So you're just very excited about anything new in your life, and you are like wanting to bring a lot of newness, like fresh ideas, fresh experiences into your life. And you will just be very extroverted and like this happy-go-lucky person, even if you're not like that normally. So I'm just seeing like this big boost of energy within you. Next, I pulled 4 cards to see what will happen over the next 7 days. So we have this Adelita of Earth. So this is the Knight of Pentacles. 8 of Fire, so 8 of Wands. The Tower. And the World. And what's interesting is that there's a lot of like similar types of energies or like exact cards here as in pile 1. So I feel like if you feel drawn to, it might be beneficial for you to check the reading for pile 1 as well. But having said that, the energies are still quite different, even though we have some cards that are like exactly the same. Like I've been using like different decks for these readings, but pile number 1 also has the Tower and the World. The other cards were different though, and yeah, the message is quite different, but with some similarities, of course. But yeah, let's move on and get focused on this reading here in front of us. So we have the Knight of Pentacles here, and he is like the most reliable of the knights. He has this slow and steady energy, but knights are also like wands energy, so fire energy. And then we also have the 8 of fire here, so 8 of wands, so that brings also a lot of like active fire energy into this reading. So it's an interesting mix because I feel like there is a lot of stuff happening, but it's serious work. Like this could be like work related, something that you are very serious about and feel very much responsible for. So yeah, like I said, that could be work, your career, but also anything like that, like projects, your education, maybe your kids, stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of work in some way happening over the next 7 days, and a lot of exciting energy, but a lot of seriousness about it at the same time. So I feel like whatever this job or project here is that we're talking about, you are very committed to it, and you are really wanting to show your best, and you will bring all your energy into it. And I feel like this thing that we're talking about, it will change your life in a really big way. So I feel like for some of you, this could be like a huge break at work or in your education, or like achieving a goal. It's something that you've been working on for a while, and then things suddenly shift, start happening real fast, and you will achieve success, achieve this goal, make something happen that seemed impossible before. I feel like people will see you taking your assignments seriously and having all that energy and drive. That really just makes things happen, and they will really like look up to you. The Tower here could manifest malfunctions or things not going as planned, even in a big way, but I feel like the overall energy here and this card is quite positive for you, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Yeah, I feel like you won't be bothered by it too much, actually. You just don't have that energy of like dwelling on problems. I feel like you might actually welcome it as something that kind of boosts your success. So maybe something challenging happens, you will be able to like overcome it. You will be able to solve a problem, and it will lead to a huge success. Or the as the world here is about ending, so it could be about like a huge project that has been challenging, and you bring all this energy into it, and it will be the end of it because you've solved it, you've solved a problem with it, something like that. Anyway, I feel like, yeah, this thing that we're talking about here will definitely reach its conclusion by the 7th day. We have the Fool here, which is the first card of the Major Arcana in Tarot, and then we have the World card here, which is the last card of the Major Arcana. So some sort of cycle will be coming to a close. And next, I pulled a card to see where you will end up as a result of these 7 days. So what will happen with the energy of the Fool? And the card that I pulled is the Hermit. So yeah, I feel like after all this flurry of action, you will retreat back to yourself for a bit, but not for long though. I feel like this card together with the Healer here, I feel like during these 7 days you will feel like you've healed a bit of yourself in some way. Like maybe you didn't think that you had it within you to face this challenge here. Like maybe you felt like you couldn't be trusted with an assignment at work, or you couldn't reach a goal that you've had for a long time, but then you proved yourself wrong, and it will kind of like end up changing this perception that you had of yourself. And as a result of that, you will need to have a bit of time alone to assimilate that new perception or that new information within you and into your identity. And that is what you will do here. You will turn inwards a bit. But yeah, not for long or for good. So it's just a momentary thing. I also pulled a few cards for advice in this situation over these 7 days. So we have an oracle card called Waterproof, and a tarot card called Ace of Air. So this is the Ace of Swords. This card here makes me think of the saying, water off a duck's back. So I would advise you not to let anything face you. So any malfunctions or problems that we talked about, they are, just little hiccups on your road, and there's nothing to worry about. You shouldn't get stuck on them. I feel like you should focus on being clear and truthful and accurate as possible. And I feel like you will reach success if you have sort of that one-pointed energy of trying to kind of like pinpoint like the main issue in a problem and being very like logical and clear about it. But yeah, don't do it without being what's the word? I guess don't do it without hurting other people. So be truthful and accurate, but watch your words and watch your actions, because you don't want to make enemies or hurt people who've got your back. So yeah, don't be like snippy or critical, even if you may want to get really like pinpointy and are feeling like really high and mighty and confident and full of energy. So yeah, be a bit humble about it. Lastly, I pulled one more oracle card for a final piece of advice for the healer and the explorer here. This card is from the Egyptian Gods Oracle deck, and it's a card called Completeness. And it's about like following your intuition and the guidance of the universe for completeness, basically, like it says here, to reach some sort of like what's the word, zenith in something. So we have the world here and completeness here, so I definitely feel like I said earlier that some sort of cycle will end in your life over the next 7 days. So pile 2, that was your reading for the next 7 days. This is a timeless reading, so you can watch it anytime. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for future videos. There will be a monthly reading for June, as well as a general reading for the summer, as well as a career reading as well. At least that is what I feel called to film. Maybe not next, but like within the next 2 or 3 readings. So yeah, stay tuned, and until next time, bye bye. Hello there, pile 3. You chose Polished Rose Quartz, and here I have your cards. I pulled them for you earlier so we can get to the reading a bit faster. So this reading, like I said earlier, is for the next 7 days. And first, the cards that we will be seeing are for the role that you will play over the coming days. And I have an oracle card here as well as a tarot card. The oracle card is called the Child, and we have 3 of Wands from Tarot deck. So yeah, like the Child here makes me think that you will be a beginner at something over the next days. Like maybe you will have a new job or a new responsibility at your current job, that kind of energy. But of course it could be with anything. It doesn't necessarily refer to your career. It could be anything, but yeah, definitely some like beginner energy here, innocence and naivety even. The 3 of Wands is about waiting and trade, basically. So I have this feeling that you might be getting news about something. Like my intuition goes first to getting positive news about a new job. But like I said, it could be anything. And with the Child energy here, I also feel like some of you could be hearing about like pregnancy news. like maybe your own or other people's. But that's only for some of you, because these cards were about the role that you will play. But yeah, it could be happening for some of you. Anyway, next, let's see what will happen over the next 7 days. And for that, I pulled 4 cards. We have the Ace of Cups, 9 of Swords, 4 of Wands, and 7 of Cups. So these 2 cards here tell me that we're talking about the arrival of something. And like I said here, the beginning of something. It's interesting that we have the 3 of Wands and the 4 of Wands here in almost succession. Yeah, I definitely feel like for some of you this is about some good news. Like I said, maybe a job, maybe a new responsibility, a new type of situation in your life. If you are starting at a new job, I feel like you will feel very welcome and very much at home there. Some of you might even return to your former workplace if it's a place that you really liked and loved. However, for some of you, I feel like this could be like a positive change in a relationship. I just get this vibe that maybe you are in a long distance relationship and your girlfriend or boyfriend lives far away, and now they are traveling to meet you. So that is what will be happening over the next 7 days. They will come and visit. And like, if that doesn't resonate with you, I feel like if you are in a committed partnership, I feel like you could be thinking about like moving in together. So that is what you're just really like excited about here. And that's why you have this like youthful energy here with these cards. Then we have these completely different energies here. I kind of feel like they may not even be related to this thing here. For some of you it might be, but not for all of you. So something is definitely stressing you out. I feel like it's possibly something that has to do with having like too many options and not knowing what to choose. So you're just like basically staying up at night, thinking, overthinking, thinking of different scenarios, and it's just starting to feel like a huge nightmare to you for some reason. I also wanted to see what will happen as a result of these 7 days. So what will happen to the 3 of Wands here? And the card that I pulled for you is the Devil. As a positive, I would say that the Devil has very passionate energy. But it's also a card of like addictions and codependency and like overly material values. So there could be something that happens during these 7 days that make you feel quite trapped and even addicted in a way. So you won't feel free. You may feel like your boundaries have been violated I'm getting like two different types of energies, one that feels trapped and one that feels like addicted. But I guess like those are kind of like the same thing when we're talking about addictions, because you get trapped by your addictions and you want to get away, but at the same time you will like feel pulled in, like you can't break free. So yeah, that type of energy. I don't know, it could be something as innocent as like I said, somebody coming over for a visit and you just not feeling free to follow your everyday routines or stuff like that, so you feel kind of tied down. But then as a negative, this energy here can be quite intense, so there's like this crabby energy of just like wanting a lot, wanting it all, so that keeps you chained. So yeah, I feel like you will have to find a way to work with this intense energy here. It could be a result of all this overthinking that you've been doing here. So it might be that we're talking about your own mind that is kind of keeping you trapped. That is worth thinking about at least. You might also be acting like a child. So we have the child card here. Children, they can be quite cruel and they can throw temper tantrums and they can be quite immature, which is okay, of course, because they are kids and they don't really have the capacity to deal with their emotions. But you are an adult, or at least a teenager, I assume, so you should definitely have a bit more capacity to act mature. So don't become like a child. The energy of the devil can be quite immature and selfish in a way, so be mindful of that, okay? I also pulled some advice cards. First we have this card called Community from the Urban Crow Oracle deck. And we got two tarot cards, Eight of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, the community here makes me think, makes me advise you that it's not all about you. Like I said, this devil here can be quite selfish, so try to see things from the perspective of other people. So don't just focus on you and what you want and how you feel. So work on building these roots and planting seeds for these beautiful flowers to bloom, rather than try to benefit from other people or the situation at hand, and don't put yourself first all the time. And I feel like here is a reminder, like the Eight of Wands and Wheel of Fortune, that things move fast and you just gotta go with the flow. Because whatever is going on here, this will happen for approximately 7 days. But after that, all of that has passed and then new energies are coming in. So whether good stuff happens or bad stuff happens, just know that it's all part of life, and don't get too focused on one thing. Like, I feel like you might have that energy of becoming very single-minded and focused and overthinking, and that sort of energy sort of makes you feel stuck. rather than, allowing the energy to move and flow, and for you to be able to move and flow with the flow of life, if that makes sense. And lastly, I pulled an oracle card for one final piece of advice for the child here. And this oracle card is from the Egyptian gods oracle deck. And the card is called Ra, Enlightening. And I decided I would read the description here for you. So Ra was the first sun god in Egyptian mythology. He who rises up, climbing high in the sky. Life and prosperity come from the sun and its heat. Its symbol is the Eye of Ra, also associated with the meaning of the third eye. The energy of Ra is vital, the source of creative growth. This deity instills clarity and transparency. There's nothing to fear under the influence of Ra. He helps you to heal wounds and restore lost harmony, but with action. Above all, he advises you to abandon the subterfuges of the moon and to act boldly and in the full light of day. So, pile 3, that was your reading for the next 7 days. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for my upcoming videos. There will be a monthly reading for June, as well as a general reading for summer 2023, as well as a career reading probably coming up. So yeah, stay tuned for all of those readings and many more. Thank you for watching. Till next time.